Good evening from sacred space at Titania's realm. The time is 6:57 p.m. on the 14th of July 2025, Monday, which if you hail from or have any connections to or have any fondness for France, happens to also be Bastille Day. So I'm in darkness, I'm in shadow, I know, because I haven't replaced that light bulb in that lamp yet. So this is how it's going to be, because I want to read some of my updates or my memories from Facebook to you, and for that I need my mobile phone. And so if I'm at the video on the mobile phone, I can't read from it, if that makes sense. Well, I wonder if I could bring up Facebook on the laptop and do it that way. Oh, I can't be asked. Anyway, so I'm going to read you a few little anecdotes and memories. One memory is from yesterday, but I really like it, and it was a powerful, potent piece of writing that I did years ago, and I just thought I would share that with you, YouTube audience. Just got to bring it up. One of my friends already put a like on it, but it was actually from yesterday. No, that's not the one. Bugger, can't find it now. Isn't that weird? It's very weird. I'll just scroll backwards in time. It's here, it's here, it's here, it's almost here. So I've had a lovely quiet day. I didn't do much today. Still haven't gone for a walk, still haven't done any dancing. It's been a month now that I haven't actually had any proper exercise, which is not actually good for me. But I don't know, I just don't seem to want to be bothered. I spend all my time with my little birdies, reading or making YouTube videos or watching YouTube videos. And the days just fly past, and it's kind of amazing. Is this the one? Is this the one? Right, yes. This is the one. So it's a memory from yesterday's date, 30th of July 2017, but I feel inspired to read it to you. I don't know why. Probably because it's a good piece of writing in a way. Waste not, what not, what's left of my life, memories and my few talents, and yeah, just good potent reminders for me too. Alright, let us begin. 30th of July 2017. I think I mentioned in one of my videos recently that 2017 was a big turning point for me. Psychologically, it's like I really came home to myself. I had lots of really potent spiritual messengers which came up in my memories yesterday. I'm not going to read that out to you, although it was pretty funny. Oh, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Anyway, I'll read this and we'll see how we feel after that. I'll read the other one. 30th of July 2017. I told my psychiatrist that I am high functioning but fragile. He agreed. I am so very fragile, but so fabulous. I grinned through gritted teeth that recently smashed one by one. I need to take myself off to the dentist again after one broke. I promised to fix it and I never heard back from him. Now it's cracked open. So bloody annoying. Have to chase them down like a wild animal begging for treatment. But anyway, it doesn't hurt, so I'll go when I feel like it. But annoyances. Anyway, where was I? Teeth that recently smashed one by one. 2017 was a very bad toothy year, just saying. Teeth that have bitten down hard on my confectured life. I stopped sugarcoating it with rose-coloured taffy long ago. I am fragile like peanut brittle, which is interesting because I ate peanut brittle flavoured chocolate this afternoon. I'm seeing a lot of synchronicities today. It's another thing I want to mention. It's like complete full circle, right down to phrases being repeated today. It's a bit odd. And I've also been reading about or watching shows about the CERN particle collider, which I blame for a lot of this timeline repetitions and merging and synchronicities. It's odd. It's all odd, people of Earth. But anyway, let me continue with the story. I'm fragile like peanut but brittle, spawned in the dirty darkness of the earth, cultivated by filthy hands and minds, dredged up and roasted and toasted and poured into hot caramel toffee, moulded and soldered, sleek and shiny like a new penny, sweet and salty, but broken again and again and consumed, by the greed and envy of others. They barely digest me before they scoff again. Watch out, you will get a bellyache. I am not safe for mortal tastes. Like a glass window pane in the moment before it shatters, that millisecond of silent scream, before a million shards explode into the space where the window was. Can you see me? See through me? Hands crawl out of their own abyss, reach to me, help me, they demand. Help you? I am your broken down reflection. I am your missive of bliss. I shine for you and for me, but you have your own shining to aspire to, your own dreaming. I hold myself together in second-hand clothes and extraordinary hats and silver charms and crystals to reflect the many facets of the Tanya. Extraneous frippery that signifies my journey of becoming somewhat whole again, or the delusion of wholeness. I fight against the envy of the uninitiated, the ones that think I am gifted easily, that this life was ever easy, a mockery, a hubris, a nonsensical witless dance with death. My lawnmower man, obsessed with me, tells me, you have a house and a brand new car and new fences and money given to you, while others have to work for a living and have no home. Dickhead, I worked hard to stay alive, to keep my children safe, to get us free from assholes, to move house 8 times while striving to get us free from assholes who inevitably found us. I moved houses and left my freehold, inherited home, and chose poverty and trauma again and again, rather than be abused and smothered, sullied and slandered by my husband and mother. I gave up any hope of a career or prosperity when Jasmine went berserk and stealing as she needed her mother at home. Not that I prospered in that hellhole traineeship at the police academy or at the QFRA abusers after. QFRA is Queensland Fire and Rescue Association, I believe. Cunts. How they treated me was abominable. Anyway, moving on with the story. No, instead I almost threw myself in front of a train the day I walked away from that nightmare of a workplace. My friend and mentor Rosie Price talked me down. Kill yourself, Tanya? Over a fucking job? The absurd inanity hit me harder than the train ever would have. We laughed hysterically. My children needed me. I survived to keep fighting, to keep us safe. Now they barely speak to me. In fact, in 2025, the last one hasn't spoken to me for 2 years nearly. What can I say? Shits happen, and then you give birth to more shits. But they're my shits, and I love them, because they're my children, but what a fucking life. And to think people envy me, it's really the most evil of all. I should have died back then, but I had high hopes and dreams of love. Still kind of do. Isn't that ridiculous? Suppose it keeps me distracted and alive and befuddled and bemused, and hope, the last thing that escaped from Pandora's box, you understand, was the most dangerous of all. Yeah, I know I am useless and many people slave away so I can have a roof and enough food to eat and have to beg AGL to help me with bill smoothing so I can afford my gas and electricity. But you know, a brand new car, which in 2017 was actually already 5 years old. I mean, what a dickhead that man was. All he wanted was to have sex with me, which I wouldn't allow because I wasn't interested in him. So he turned savage. It's nature of men, isn't it? Turn savage when you won't open your legs and invite them in freely of your own free will. If they can't have you freely, they'll rape you. And if they won't rape you, they'll rape your soul. Bang on about you being a loser with your brand new car. I fired that lawnmower man in the end. Oh, he was vile. Anyway. But you know, a brand new car I fought hard for 2.5 years, is enough to make dickheads jealous and think I got life too easy because really they wanted me dead and raped and tortured, but they can't see through the looking glass, looking good facade, and observe the grit and sand and molten turpitude that makes up the shiny, shiny Tanya they want so very much to aspire to. Anything I have and am was gifted to me either out of guilt or out of love. My home is an asbestos-ridden government rental cottage, and still I am envied. Curious and curiouser, and down the rabbit hole we go. Eat me. Oh wait, men like that too much. Bite me, suck me, smite me, but I laugh in the face of your very poor taste. I spit in your eye. Even sweetened and condensed and refractured toffee, coveted by knaves and tomfoolery, cannot be dissolved by hate alone. It melts in the sun like butter or glistens with sugary oxidation. A crystallized delight. Don't worry, we can rebuild her. Right, yes, I will read this out to you from also from 2017, 13th of July. I had a spirit send me lyrics or a melody of a song, and the song, I had to Google it to find out what it was Jimmy Can Crack Corn, which is a Negro gospel type melody type song. Anyway, let me just have a look how many people look at 8 people, right. Anyway, that was in 2017, and then the next thing that happened was, and I write here, I found this token coming out of the ground under my bare feet as I stood cracking macadamia nuts outside in the garden. It is a sign. I hope it does not mean that that weird, insane little Moroccan idiot who calls himself the Galaxy comes to find me at the casino. He did eventually, I just ignored it. It's completely insane, that man. I'm not normally cruel to people who are eccentric or unusual or different, but he was dangerously insane. Obsessed he was. And it ruined a lovely night I had one night out at Lefty's. I had to leave. He was such a pest. But anyway, here I write, the Tanya would be horrified and aghast. But yes, world galaxy with a picture of Saturn on it. Can the angels please stop playing weird symbolic games with my heart and mind? Can you, angels? In all seriousness. 8 years later, it's enough already. And just for once and all, the rest of my life, speak to me directly and openly and honestly. I am so tired of these bullshit little games. Laughing out loud. The universe knows what I want, and here's my prayer, and I am grateful to be seen and heard. But really, silver tokens from the earth? Or Ouija number plate messages when Dad died, which was in March 2017. That was fucking weird too. Genoeg, that's Yiddish for enough. The world is at my feet, and I am at the Holy One's service. But can you please stop giving me stuff that is too much to handle? Like fake lovers, superficial friends, psychic vampires, and other assorted tricksters. If you want me to heal myself and others, then you need to respect my sacred space and my boundaries. Time is of the essence, and my cup is bleeding out, and I don't want to be sucked from or drained. Enough already. May peace and happiness and only true loves enter my own tiny world. Amen. V'salah. And then I added in not all, but most of the comments from the comment section because they were very interesting and bemusing and supportive and lovely. So from my friend Tarina Edwards, who wrote, the sign is it's your time to know about Saturn. I can't see the other coin clearly. And it's interesting because a video came up today on YouTube about the black cube, which represents Saturn, which I was halfway through watching. And I thought, here we are, another synchronicity from yesterday, with Saturn being mentioned, and then it popped up again today. These recurring symbols and themes in my life with monotonous regularity, I might add. I reply to Terina, Saturn is not a positive sign for me, represents dark side of human nature, betrayals, cheating, liars. Been through enough of that. It is the flip side of the coin, says non-refundable, no cash value. She couldn't see, I posted a photo of the back of the token, and so I was explaining what was the photo was of. She said she couldn't see it because of glare on the photograph, which is fair enough. Then I continue writing. Anyway, it was interesting that it popped out of the ground the way it did. The lawn got mowed by that jealous maniac yesterday, so must have dug up some old ground. Then my friend Jared Nielsen sent me a link on eBay to how much that token is worth. And so I write, no cash value, but worth $15. Ha ha. And my then friend Julie Goddard wrote, $15 is better than a poke in the eye, Tanya, smiley face. And I replied, who will buy my galaxy world that rose from the dirt beneath my toes? Ha ha ha. Jared replied, hey, it's a drink on a night out, lol. Jimmy cracked corn, etc., etc. I replied, I will cross your palm with silver, tokens from the galaxy. Hashem help me. Hashem is Yiddish for means the name. It's God. God that cannot be named has thousands of names, so he even gets called the name. Me. Not sure Hashem gives me tokens of his infinitely saturnine appreciation so I can buy Jack Daniels, lol. But yes, let the abundance flow to me as a million stars in the galaxy. Jared writes, seriously, the song is about a slave swigging on some moonshine and celebrating the death of his master. Now the universe has crossed your palm with silver, so you can do the same. Meaning that only a few months prior my father had died, not that I ever viewed him as my master, you understand. I mean, I did respect him up to a point because he was my father, but and yeah, the moonshine and the Jack Daniels. So yes, Jared was quite right. It was a very potent message. I replied, yes, a very symbolic. The slave conquers her master by gaining mastery over her desires, winky face. I really could do with some cracked corn and a drink now. I mean, you have to laugh. Jared writes, have to wonder though how a game token from a defunct amusement centre in Sydney ended up buried in your yard, lol. Me. Actually, Jared, you got me thinking. I was writing all morning, weird Tanya commentary. Then when I found this token of the universe's attention-seeking, Rumi, what you are seeking is also seeking you, I was indeed cracking nuts. Not corn, but close enough. The coin is a bit rusty from being in the ground, so I doubt it would fetch $15. But as I am struggling again until payday, it will be a nice reminder that I need to trust in the universe. The envious ones fall from my side and only positive flow just come to me in the right time. Oh, and other weird thing. On the topic of cracked corn, Beauregard has been obsessed with chasing Mr. Crow all day and yesterday. I just called him away and told him not to attack my crow friend. Besides, Mr. Crow is liable to take Bobo's eyeball out, and then how will I cope with a huge vet bill? But, yes sir, stone the crows, release the ravens, Thor and Odin are weaving magic, chez moi. That's French for at my place. I await with trepidation what the gods have in store for me. I told Beauregard to know thine enemy, know thy fucking enemy. Appearances can be deceiving. I am just lucky that Mr. Crow thinks he is part of the family. He didn't hurt Charlie the other day, even though Charlie went right into attack mode. I am loved by that crow, to be sure. Und now that fucking lunatic, demented Romanian neighbour is bleating to his sheep again. It's very quiet since he died in 2018, to be honest. I had a fight with him yesterday about his baaing being more annoying than the actual sheep, laughing my ass off. But he forgot already. Ho-hum. My dad had a quote from Alice in Wonderland. Speak harshly to your little boy and beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases. John, the wannabe sheepshagger, is just doing everything he can to get my attention. It is annoying. And here's a photo of the, don't know how well you see it since I haven't got much light. It's out of focus. But you can just make out, where is it? You can just make out, no, can't. How am I going to do this? It's very, very frustrating. Anyway, it says World Galaxy with a picture of Saturn. No cash value. Non-refundable. I've kept that little token as in my mojo, one of my little witchy mojo bags where I keep little gifts from the multiverse that have messages like that or are potent in other ways, and brings me a bit of luck and a bit of protection literally from the galaxy, you understand. But anyway, I thought I would share that with you because it's a bit delightful. Right. Now we'll scroll back to today's this is amusing since I'll read this out to you too. And here I am, decades later, reading stories out loud on my own YouTube channel, with commentary and occasional weird verkachte channelings from dead ex-lovers and other odd entities. Mwahahaha, falls off perch. And our beginnings are our endings. So this is a memory that I wrote 10 years ago, 13th of July 2015, which was only 6 weeks before my suicide attempt actually, 22nd of August. 5 weeks, close enough. My second mother, Mrs. June Robertson, used to love to take me to the library with Lynn. Lynn was 4 years older than I and a speed reader. By the time she was 15 or 16, she had read every book in the Island Bay Public Library, and they were having to order more in for her from the Wellington City Council main library. So it was with some embarrassment when they took me along to discover that I loved reading too. Out loud, with running commentary on the text, which you notice I still do while I'm reading stories to you. I'll bring in old anecdotes or memories that get triggered by the text. Still do that to this very day. At the very top of my little 6 or 7 year old lungs, even I can't remember why I was so damned loud and expansive. The librarians shushed me several times until eventually they threatened Mrs. Robertson that we would be thrown out if that child did not read silently. June, a gentle, loving but nervous soul, told me to try to read quietly. I announced, "But Mrs. Robertson, libraries are meant for reading, and I am enjoying myself." So we left, with June muffling giggles with her hand over her mouth, as Tanya has a point, you know. Lynn was rather affronted, as she had wanted to borrow out her usual quota of about 20 books, and only had time to get 4 or 5 because of the brat. It did take me some time to master the art of reading silently in libraries, doctors' surgeries, on buses, and, well, any public place really. What can I say? I was adorable. I really was. I was a sweet little girl. So severely abused even at 6 and 7. The fucking library throws me out for reading out loud. What kind of a librarian was that? They should have given me a little quiet room to sit in all by myself so I could be as loud as I pleased. Oh, they were obnoxious. What a childhood, growing up with idiots. By the gods. Right, this is a funny memory about my love life back in 2014, which wasn't funny at the time. It was very, very, very distressing and cruel how I was played, and seems to also be a constant repeat pattern in my life. Dickheads thinking they can kill me in inverted commas by playing me for some kind of fucking fool and, you know, tormenting me and calling that romance. It's like, fuck off, you dogs. Seriously. Anyway, on a happy note, because I've survived you all, then and now, 3:30 p.m, just woke up. Had a major slippage and texted the poor schmuck I have chosen by heart, who is not really into me. Why the fuck do I do this shit to myself? Fuck! All good though. It has been 11 days. So I will slap my wrist and pull up my big girl knickers and ride my broomstick again. Smiley face. I had so much fun with another guy on Friday night, and that would have been platonic fun, by the way. Even I wonder what this in-love thing is all about. He has not even taken me on a date. No, because he was a cheap motherfucker and an asshole, and threw all his sleazy, putrid girlfriends in my face, constantly kept that going for years, even though we weren't even involved anymore. It was odd, very odd. And then I used to see him constantly at Crossroads, for which I now have a permanent altar to Papa Legba, who protects me from that evil, perverted motherfucker. And no doubt any other evil, perverted motherfuckers that thought they might try and have a ride on my life and destroy me. So anyway, he has not even taken me on a date. Isn't that disgraceful? Like, they're just so cheap and nasty and tawdry and really, quite frankly, beneath me and quite frankly pathetic. And yet I kept falling in love with people like that. So, you know, I have to take responsibility for that they were drawn to my expansive personality and my joy and my love and my light, and they tried to crush it. Evil is what they were and still are, by the way. Anyway, where were we? I don't even know his favourite colour, and his energy signature is weak now, written in 2014. That's actually good when their energy signatures are weak. It means I'm getting over them. Letting go is hard. I think I need electric shock treatment. I really did think I needed it back in the day. My doctor says I'm not a candidate, so perhaps... Oh, you have to laugh. So perhaps I should take a drive out to the country and French kiss an electric fence. Pissing myself laughing as I fall off my Norfisk 2012 because I can't afford the latest model, you understand. You've got to love the fallen. We are so cute, all crumpled and dishevelled at the bottom of our pipe dream. Somebody pick me up to say hello and dust me off and throw me back into the love vortex. Ride, Sleipnir, ride. We have men to take to Valhalla, and one woman, winky face. Menopause has wonderful surprises, hot flushes and euphoria, spelt EU, new word, for, F-O-R, new word, I as in the letter I, yeah, Y-E-A-H, euphoria, yeah. Oh, well, I was playing with it a little bit. Then later on that day, my friend, my Australian Lynn friend, who we've been friends for 37 years, nearly, I write here, okay, at Lynn, I love you. It is really two slips, as Lynn reminded me last night that my posts are contradictory. I write happy stuff about my new awesome life, then I follow it up with doubts and negativity out of a feeling of not being deserving of love. I also sabotage. Shh, don't look. I must say that in my life quest for attaining a love partner who treats me with kindness and respect, totally adores me and is actually real, i.e. in my life as a constant companion, i.e. can stand being with me, well, I am almost always stymied by circumstances beyond my control, which causes confusion, dissolution, and despair. So to cope with these negative side effects of love, I try to laugh at myself in the crazy, fucked up situations I find myself in. I use humour as a tool for healing. Lynn is right though. I don't know who really loves me, who is going to show up and follow through. So this is my time for playfulness and figuring out who is genuine, who is not, and whom my heart chooses, and trusting the process. Can you believe that I'm still doing that 11 years later? Still trying to figure out who's genuine, who really loves me, who gives a flying fuck about me, and who wants to be in my life at the moment. Patently obvious, my nose on my face, even in shadow. No one. Oh, greatest cello concerto. Dum, 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 dum. Hashem, meaning God, knows best. My spirit knows best. My poor heart, which has been a long-standing, legendary, shitty chooser, knows best. And this agony and ecstasy is for my higher good, or someone else's winky face. Right, now, where was I? And because the man at that time period that I was in love with had dreadlocks, I used to see this photo of this wonderful Hungarian, forget what they're called, but they've got natural dreadlocks. And I would laugh and laugh and laugh until I cried every time I saw that dog. And here's my other favourite, Jack Nicholson saying, I am who I am. Your approval is not needed. He was my father's favourite actor, actually. So, it's true though. It really is true. I won't read you my dreams from this morning because it's not necessary to put that out on YouTube. Oh, this is a really funny memory from today's even date, 14th of July 2020. I remembered that actually when I read it, and I still have to laugh. So I'll share this with you because it's actually kind of delightful. 2020, how long ago is that? 5 years ago. Today I am really happy. The universe conspired to bless me. I picked up my corsets, and the lovely Chinese Australian woman did not charge me extra and remembered my name and handed them to me personally, and when I thanked her, gave me a quaint little bow. I was so grateful for her kindness. Then I grabbed a coffee at Amanda's coffee kiosk. On my way out to picking up my other bedside table. I had actually bought two bedside tables that were Asian looking, and they've got like little, apothecary type drawers. I'm obsessed with furniture that has apothecary drawers. I must have been an apothecary in another life. Anyway, they're very lovely, but I bought one and then I went back and bought the other one so I could have two matching ones. So, where was I? On my way out to picking up my other bedside table. An elderly gentleman, why does that keep jumping off? Sit there and behave. Sit on it, Fonzie. Right. An elderly gentleman was waiting, so we struck up a conversation about, of all things, whiskey. He said he had reached an age where he can afford to buy the very best and just leave it on the shelf. I said, now that is a waste of good whiskey. You should be having a wee nip every night for medicinal purposes. It's good for the heart. Then I launched into my fabulous story about meeting a nun on a flight from Wellington to Melbourne when I was flying over for my conversion to Judaism. And the nun, bless her, got stinking drunk, knocking back whiskies. So I gently asked her if she thought that was a good idea. And she replied she had an ear, nose and throat infection, so it was medicinal. I just laughed. We got talking and I mentioned my anxiety as my brother-in-law, to-be, had refused to pick me up from the airport, the arsehole, and I had no idea how to get to his place. She asked me, where does he live? I replied, in Auburn. Oh, my dear, It is right next door to our convent in Kew. I will ask the sisters to give you a lift." I looked at her in astonishment, but thanked her gratefully. By the time we landed, she was barely able to walk, but true to her word, she stumbled off and found her sisters, and they were delighted to hand deliver this soon-to-be Jewish girl to my soon-to-be brother-in-law's house. I was 19 at the time. My brother-in-law was astounded. "How did you manage that?" I replied, "The Holy One moves in mysterious ways. Never fuck with the Tanya," and giggled. Then I added to the elderly gentleman, "I might have batted on the wrong team." We all laughed uproariously. Then I said, "You know, I have met some extremely unusual people on my walk, but it has always been amazing." The old gent looked deep into my eyes and said, "That is because you are a catalyst, and people are drawn to you, and in some way they are deeply changed by meeting you." I almost fainted with surprise. I nodded and thanked him, then drove to pick up my bedside table from the Red Queen at Paddington. There I met an extremely tall man who said the shop was closed. I said I was expected. "I am Tanya." He said, "Oh, Tanya, delighted to meet you." We shook hands. I joked about being so short, which fucks my vibe. He laughed. His wife Cez is also short of stature. A lovely couple. I asked him where his ancestors hailed from. Norse, but lived in Inverness, Scotland. I nodded. I had expected that. I told him the gods had been kind and even gifted me a car park near the front of the shop this morning. Cez asked me to send her photos of the lovely bedside tables for her Instagram, so I did. Today is a cold, wild, witchy, mistral, windy day, but the gods are blowing me in perfect alignment for a change. Smiley face. The mistral is a famous wind that blows through France, known for its bitter, bitter cold and weirdness that comes with it. Right, what else have I got here that's interesting? I think that's it for today. Yes, no, I need to read you this because, yes, I need to read you this because again it's a synchronicity of today's date. Very odd. Happy Bastille Day. Vive la Révolution. 19 days post-op, so written in 2019. Still quite sore. Formidable. This little intrepid quasi-bitch, quasi meaning Kiwi and Aussie, has another day to get through. Mind over matter, heart over flagging flesh. Must sit in the sunshine, gloat over my triumphant return from Valhalla and the shades. That because I nearly died during the surgery, post-surgery actually. 'Tis also my former psychiatrist, Dr. Eastville's birthday. Happy birthday, old man. I remember our therapy sessions and how we laughed together at my absurdist horror of a life. our laughter healing us both, O wise one. You sent me blind for a week when you overdosed me with cogentin for my palsied arm and weird Parkinsonism reactions. I needed glasses after that. But I loved you for our laughter and your staunch support and belief that I would step back into my own life one day and reclaim it, and so I did. A smoking, blazing firecracker of a warrior goddess that only you could see. Back in those staggering, zombie, shuffling, dazed days. Thank you, wherever you are now, Dr. Eastwell, for loving me back to life when everyone else saw only my death mask. You were a father I never had, and I grieved horribly when, just after my bitch of a mother died, I went for therapy and you were gone. No goodbye, so suddenly. But then I found my current doctor, and I'll blow kisses to my current doctor, who's fortunately still with us. A wonderful man too. And although not much older than I, he took up your worthy mantle, O wise one. For as much as I have been cursed in this life, the gods always sent me a few earth angels, brave souls that surf my rage and pain and tweak out my joy, my love, and my courage. Not the stuff for weak or mindless or heartless mortals, and by all the gods, I did tend to fall in love with those, by all the gods. But I am learning. Last year I cursed those who had spitefully interfered in my love relationship, or whatever that was, laughing my arse off. And I have witnessed these false, malicious curs drop like fleas off a newly dosed dog. Yes, I have. Smiles. I might be doomed to walk through life alone, and I am okay with that. But the evil that was launched at me when I fell in love in 2014 was a little too much for even a warrior goddess in it. So here we are, plutzing and shivering in the naked morning cold, loving me as that is worthy of the love I poured into empty vessels of superficiality and hate, calling back my spirit from the far corners of the earth and every piece of ground I walked on, singing my truth and gathering my power. Those false ones shall be feeling very bereft soon, losing their feed. But shake them off like the dogs of winter, as I am sure they will find new food sources, which indeed they have. Pity the fools. Right now, and on the same day in 2019 I wrote, Psychedelic dreamer surfs herself back into ordinary reality, picks off the scathing fairy dust, blinks her myopic glamoured vision, breathes. Another day in paradise, sweet Moses. Right, so this afternoon I wrote this. I attached it to this memory from 2019, a meme posted by my Facebook friend Jan Attridge. I don't know if you can see it. Let me try and... here we are. So the ginger cat that I was almost given a beautiful, almost gingery tortoise-shell tabby. She was a mixture of everything, that cat. Beautiful cat she was. Anyway, the cartoon is of a tabby and a ginger, and there's a ginger cat up on the post, and it says missing answers to cupcake. And the tabby says to the ginger cat, "Hey, isn't that you? I thought you said your name was Thor." And the ginger replies, must be a typo or something. And so the synchronicity is today, which is one day and 6 years later, this happened. This afternoon, my neighbour Damon from down the road, he's a lovely young man, he really is, from down the road popped past with his youngest daughter Ayla and a beautiful cat named Sunny. "Hey, oh wise one." That's how he referred to me, isn't that sweet? But then I realised I'd written referring to both my psychiatrists as wise ones in my memory earlier today. And it's strange that my neighbour should come and say to me, "Hey, oh wise one." I just smiled. I wasn't the least bit offended. I thought it was actually quite sweet. "Hey, oh wise one," he says to me. "I have a bit of a problem. This cat won't leave me alone and leaves dead heads of birds and mice on my front veranda. This morning she left the head of a dead magpie under the kids' trampoline." I laughed. Cats are nature's worst sociopaths. "But she loves you. She is bringing you trophies. You are her daddy now." He kind of freaks out, says, "I was hoping you might want her." I smile. "Come and meet my new birdie boys." They nervously enter my house. They're so sweet, Damon and his little children. Whenever they come into my house, they walk in like with real trepidation and sort of awe and admiration, but sort of sense of like going to the Wicked Witch of the West house. Actually, as they were coming through, because I brought them in through the back door, as they were coming through my kitchen, I said to little Ayla, "Don't worry, I won't turn you into a bird or a mouse." And she looked at me and went, "Eek!" But they're so cute, the two of them. Anyway, they nervously enter my house and I show them Kermie and Bo. They look amazed. "It's a bird room," says Damon. The cages take up most of the room now. So yeah, it truly is. I'm thinking I really do need to sell that spare bed in the spare room and maybe turn that into the birds' room so there's more room for them and more room for me to have my studio back. But I'm just thinking about it at the moment because you never know. No one slept over and needed a bed, to use that bed in many years. But the minute I sell it and get rid of it, someone will be like, "Can I have somewhere to stay for a few days?" And I'll be like, "Fuck, I haven't got a bed," So I'm holding on to that bed for that one reason, that just in case reason. Anyway, I don't really mind that we're all squeezed in, the birdies and in my little studio. But it does look quite strange to anyone coming that hasn't been to my house in a long time. They get a bit of a shock. The cages take up most of the room now, so yeah, it truly is. Now you understand why I can't take in any cats. But if she is abandoned and no one wants her, then I will take her. Whose cat is she? He replies, Debbie the hairdresser, but she has 3 cats and they fight all the time. So this one hangs out at my house and follows me everywhere. I laugh. Sunny has chosen. She's your cat now. You might as well get used to the idea. Cats choose their owners, i.e., go where they feel most happy and comfortable. He leaves my gate with his daughter. Sunny hangs around my front yard. I try to pat her briefly, but she attempts to claw at me, showing off because her new daddy has walked across the street and is quietly watching to see if Sunny chooses me. I laugh. No, you don't, you little sneak. I walk back inside to my birdie boys. Sunny will not be overly encouraged, since she is such a formidable huntress. Pity, she's a gorgeous cat, but I know where her heart belongs, to my Finnish Viking neighbour Damon, whether he likes it or not. I mean, you have to laugh. The gods have spoken. So I just thought I would share that with you because it's kind of delightful. And I literally have not seen that neighbour in, it must be maybe 6 months or a year. It's been a long time. So it was sweet, and it was sweet. He came past, he walked up the side, along the fence line and waved to me where I was sitting in the studio with my birds. And I'm looking out the window, looking at YouTube videos and waved. And that's how he sort of caught my attention. And I'm so lonely sitting here day in, day out, see no one except for Lynn when she comes occasionally, my cleaning lady on Thursday. And I know when my neighbours come and wave to me that it's a sign that they want to, interact with me, connect with me. So I went out and he and this little girl waiting at the front gate with this little pussycat, I thought that was just delightful. I really did. Here's a memory that dog, who was Jared's dog, he passed away, but I think in 2000, can't remember what year he passed away now, 2020 I think. Anyway, he was a very nervous little Jack Russell. I'll show you the photo of him. It's him and I outside in the garden. He was a lovely little dog and one of my greatest loves, little Harvey. And yes, and I wrote here, Harvey was all shivery and shaky in my cold living room, so he suggested we all go out and sit in the sun and watch the world turn. So I had a shower, washed my hair, and outside we went. He is much calmer now, quietly watching Charlie. Lovely boy. It is spectacularly beautiful out here. As I write, I am being silently buzzed by a native bee. It must like my signature scent of volupte, laughing my arse off. So that's a happy memory. And another synchronicity was mentioning, I said curious and curiouser. Here's a memory of my daughter Crystal. She's the one in the middle. Let me try and get it to focus. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, it was when she was in Ireland. Down the rabbit hole we go, curious and curiouser. Here is a photo of my girl as the Queen of Hearts. Very talented actress, my daughter is. Here's another funny memory from 2014. 5:37 a.m. Not sleeping and pondering my lack to find genuine love. Then went on Pal Talk and someone played Katie Lang's version of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, which is my favourite version, especially the one she sang at the was it Montreal Olympics. That rendition of it was her absolute best and brings me to my knees almost in tears every time. She's just the most wonderful singer and she's made that song her own. My heart is full. Best song ever with layers of meaning for me. I'm probably a stalker and it will probably piss the wig off, but I texted him a link to the song. My final goodbye. A bit like Kiss Off by Violent Femmes, only sweeter. Lol. And one of my favourite sayings, and my closest friends that say that about me too. It's not going to work, is it? No, too much white background. It's a quote by Winston Churchill. Tact is the ability to tell someone to go to hell in such a way that they look forward to the trip. And yes, that's all of the memories for today, but I just thought I would share them. I was going to start reading The Mythic Journey by Liz Green and Juliet Sharman Burke. It's quite beautiful, beautiful paintings in it. But this is already an hour and 7 minutes long, talking about synchronicities and repeat patterns. It's like a tessellated mosaic. It's just the way that I was referring to both my psychiatrist as oh wise ones, and then my neighbour pops up today randomly and says to me, oh wise one. Sweet that people think I'm wise. If they knew how my love life always turns rancid and ugly, they wouldn't think I was wise at all. But I guess love makes fools of us all, does it not? Oh, smallest violin. All right, on that note, people of Earth, I bid you good evening, and I may come back and read the stories, but I'm not going to blend them into one video. It's too much for the mind to take. It's better to break these up. So bye for now, and I may be back later or tomorrow. Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow actually. Very tired today. Feeling very tired and very kind of abandoned today. I'm having a bad day. But I'm also having a happy day because it was sweet, the neighbour coming with his little girl and trying to palm off the pussy on me. That cat's a free spirit. He said it wanders around the whole neighbourhood. I said, no, you're fantasising. That cat is yours, Damon. Mark my words, that cat is definitely his now. He'll just have to wrap his mind around it. Okay, bye for now, people of Earth.